When we think about nitrogen uptake by the plant, that greatest mechanism is mass flow. And so it's moving with moisture from the soil into the roots. And as we think about southern Indiana and Kentucky, our greatest risk is not having saturated environments with root death and nutrient loss. Our biggest risk is that our low organic matter, high slope soils are going to run out of moisture. And when we get to a point of where moisture is limited, then we are also limiting nutrient uptake into the plant as well. And so as we think about nitrogen timing, if we're on one of those high slope areas with low organic matter and that canopy isn't closed, and we're under a moisture deficit, we can come in and wide drop nitrogen or side dress in the row middle. But if we don't have water to move those nutrients into the plant, we're behind. And so, one of the things we need to think about is seasonal availability. And um, on these water limited acres, one of the things that we really encourage guys to do is think about moving more of that nitrogen forward into the season with the planter and early side dress applications instead of waiting to apply more of that in later in the season where we may not have enough moisture to get it into the plant. Another thing to consider as we think about southern Indiana and Kentucky soils is generally we're looking at 2.5% or less organic matter. And in our trials, what we have seen is, a lot of growers are running a 2x2 starter program, and maybe it's 30 pounds of N. And in conversation, maybe they are, maybe they aren't seeing results from that. But what our research has shown is that in those low organic matter soils, we may need more like 45 or 50 pounds of nitrogen to overcome that deficit that we're having in these low OM dry soils, and to build that big plant and get the canopy closed in the first 30 or 45 days after planting. And then that sets us up to capitalize on having a big plant and greater sucrose and do all these things. So, sometimes a grower says, well, I've tried starter before and I haven't seen a benefit. And in some instances, it may be that, hey, we just didn't have enough nitrogen out there to really maximize the benefit on some of our drier tops of the hills with lower organic matter.